So it's day 4. We are at the Wills Creek Vineyards and Winery. Stayed last night. Had a really nice conversation with John and Jane, kind of sitting outside around a table, drinking juice and wine and just kind of visiting. It was a really nice experience. We're going to stay long enough to do their Sunday brunch. They typically do a Sunday brunch down at their tasting room. So I'm out on the other side of their winery. If you look over here, that's their house and I guess where they do their production. It's a really small winery. And then down that road, another 2 miles is where they have a remote tasting room, and that's where they do their the brunch. So we're going to be heading down there in just a little bit to go eat. Then we head to meet Angela and Nancy. They come into Hot Springs, North Carolina today. We've got a spot about 20 miles up the road at a, let me see if I can remember, Bobarosa Saloon. They have a campground there. When I contacted them, I'm trying to arrange the arrival times. They mentioned that they cater to a lot of the bikers that come in on the weekends, and they recommended that we don't show up until probably 6 o'clock or later, because that's when the bikers start clearing out on a Sunday evening. So we're just kind of taking our time today. It's about a 3.5-4 hour drive up there. That gives us some time to kind of chill here. Like I said, we're gonna go have Sunday brunch, and then depending on how things work, there's a hike kind of up over in the other side of the hills or mountain or whatever, that way by a waterfall they recommended we take if we have some time. So we'll see if I can get race motivated enough to go on a hike, and if we have time we'll do that. So we'll capture some of that, be able to include the video as well. If you don't see it, well, either the footage wasn't any good or we just didn't have time to make it because we had to cram a few other things in. But anyway, that's the morning. I got to go out for a little bit of a run this morning too, which was nice to kind of get the blood pumping. So we're doing really well. Looking forward to a relaxing day. So anyway, we'll be back in a bit with the next little bit of video. So here we are having the brunch. I've got the French toast, and Ray said the croissant. It looks like it's got cheese and ham and egg and such in there. This is really quite good. There's the
blackberry. Bro, they got all the good fruit in this.
So you can see apparently their property goes all the way up to the top of they call it the mountain. I guess we would call it a hill, but the mountain over there, down around this lake is normally deeper than it is. It's backed up by beaver dams, but they've had so much rain out here the past a couple of weeks or so that it has flooded and washed out the beaver dams. Jenny was telling us that the water, it was so high that the water came down to up to where the bottom of those grapes are. The vines are there. So anyway, today has been one of the first nice days they've had in a while. So it's good that we're here for the good weather. We're telling them we brought the good weather with us from Arkansas. So anyway, I'm gonna start eating here before it gets cold. All right, we're pulling out of the Harvest Host today. John and Jane, they were awesome. We just had our brunch.
Last night they talked for like a...
I had the French toast. It was yummy. Bryce had the croissant.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Yep, he really liked it. So that was
Sunnyside egg with cheese, a piece of ham, and just it was a good croissant. It was a great breakfast with fruit and an apple crisp.
So anyway,
Wills Creek,
that's it. Wills Creek, Vineyards and Winery. So in a previous video, as I was walking around talking, I pointed back at the house and said that's where they do production. Apparently they did do all their production down at their tasting room where we had breakfast, had brunch or whatever. So a little correction there in the video. We've got about a 3.5, 4 hour drive. And apparently we're meeting the girls today. I thought we were going to meet them tomorrow. Got a text this morning from Ange saying that they're coming into Hot Springs today. So it sounds like we might be seeing them tonight. So anyway.
Yeah, it's good that they're ahead of schedule.
That's right. Maybe we'll have some more video on the road. If not, I'm sure we'll get some video when we pull into the campsite and meet them. So see you in a bit. Let's try this again. Alright, so let's do a little wrap up from our drive out. We actually didn't get any video of when we were picking up Ange and Nancy. It just didn't work out to where we could actually video anything. But we were able to pick them up. Everything's good. We met them in Hot Springs, went back, trailer, and got everything set up, and they were very happy to I think see us and have the trailer to come back to. So that's kind of a little bit of wrap up of our trip out here. We've got a lot of stuff ahead of us though on this trip. One of the things that we're kind of seeing is that we're not really planning a lot in advance. We are one stop ahead, basically, knowing that, you know, maybe a week I'll be here, and so I can plan to be there and stay in this place, or maybe if I'm lucky, these places, one or two places instead of just one place. So that's one of the challenging things that I'm noticing about this trip, is just having no real long-term plans. Everything is quite literally the next step. Where am I going to be? My next step. And a lot of that is because we're kind of at the mercy of Ange and Nancy and how fast and how far they can hike. One of the things that they've decided to do is, for a while at least, slack pack instead of packing it out and staying. So slack packing is where you just carry just the basics you need for the day, food, water, whatever. And then I drop them off at trailhead. Later in the day, I go pick them up at another trailhead somewhere else. You know, they may get 15 miles in, they may get 20 miles in. And the reason they're doing that is they, well, first of all, they're going to sleep in the trailer, so that makes life a little bit easier and more comfortable for them, but also allows them to pick up more miles. They can do, you know, like 15, 20, maybe even more miles per day slack packing because they're lighter. And it'll help, again, kind of catch up some of the miles that they've been missing with their feet issues, you know, slowing them down, as well as maybe getting ahead just a little bit. Because of that, though, because of the slack packing, I have to make sure that I am somewhere near enough that I can drop them off and pick them up without having to drive too far. So that's a little bit of a challenge. If they were, or when they get to the point, I should say, when they're going to do the camping again, where they're going to be out on the road or out on the trail for a few days straight, might be a little bit easier for me at that point in time, because I can say, okay, well, I know they're going to end up down here, you know, 50 miles down the road or whatever, and then I can go get a place and stay down there for a longer period of time. So logistics, I guess, are the biggest challenge I've run into so far. So again, just to get a bit of a wrap up, we made it out safe. We met the girls, we've got them picked up, we've got the trailer set up, and we're good to go. Now the next adventure is the logistics of following them along, finding places for me to work, and places that we can stay. So I guess we're going to probably do more videos on that later, but this will probably be the wrap-up video then for our trip out, even though it's a couple days after we actually arrived. So anyway, keep following us, subscribe, click the little bell so you get notified, give us thumbs up, let us know how things are going. This is kind of an epic adventure for us. We're sharing with you, and hopefully you're enjoying it as well. So remember, find a way to get out on the road and enjoy it. Find some new trails and experience the adventure. See you in the next video.